So finally, the fight of Mike Tyson and Jake Paul is absolutely done. So what we understand from this fight is very clear that Mike Tyson tried his best and he gave his absolute best. Compared to Jake Paul, when the fight opened, of course, Mike Tyson was a little aggressive on the side, but then the round two, Mike Tyson started becoming less aggressive and a little bit slow. Why? Because he was focusing more on defense system. Like he wanted to defend himself from the jabs of Jake Paul. But on the other hand, the Jake Paul, he was maintaining distance, but he knew that if Mike Tyson launches a very clear punch on Jake Paul, that would be a game over. So he was trying to really avoid that because both were trying to hurt each other, but they really couldn't do much as we were expecting. Before the fight, of course, everyone was telling Tyson would really finish this guy or Jake Paul would have had an upper hand. I understand. Here are pros and cons. The pros Jake Paul was having was absolutely his age and agility. But the pros from the Tyson side was his experience, the way he was moving, the way he was dancing on the stage and just escaping the punches of Jake Paul, that put him on a very best stance. Well, Mike Tyson also made a very good defense from the strong punches of Jake Paul, whereas Jake Paul couldn't even launch a very clear punch. As you saw the fight on the round eight, what we saw here, that if I have to say some positive thing about Mike Tyson, is that his defense held upon the Jake Paul's jabs. Well, that was pretty damn good from the Mike Tyson side. Well, Paul hasn't landed anything very clean on Mike Tyson, and he knocked out people a hell of a lot younger than Mike Tyson. Then they showed ton of respect to him in each other in the end. Well, Mike Tyson was respected in the end by Jake Paul, and he said some nice, clean, respective words on Mike Tyson, and that was pretty impressive from the side of Jake Paul. If you have watched this fight, very clear that it's very clear that Jake Paul was very honored and he feels very proud that he fought this legendary fighter, boxer, who was the heavyweight champion at one time, and now he's 58 years old, and that is Mike Tyson. He really feels proud that he had a match in this, but he didn't really want to defeat him, but he was speaking a lot just before the match. But during the match, when the match happened, he realized that Mike Tyson got a lot because he, at the 58 years old, what are you expecting? Of course, he didn't launch a lot of punches, not a lot of jabs, not a lot of thrown punches. He was more focusing on how to defend himself. On that stance, I would really appreciate Mike Tyson because for his age, he was damn pretty good. He was very good. But compared to Jake Paul, I would not compare because by default, he's 27 years old, and that he has the first advantage of his age, agility, and the power and the strength. That's what he had on his side. But if you have to compare this 27 years old to 58 years old, you can see the difference very clear, and that is strength, agility, and eye contact, what he was making, and the movements, what Jake Paul and Mike Tyson were making, that was absolutely on a different level. Jake Paul, of course, he was on the upper hand, and Mike Tyson, of course, he was not so fast as Jake Paul. But if you want to know more and more, of course, watch those clips very clear on the 8th round and even on the 1st and 2nd round, that you will see very clear that Jake Paul was trying to attack to Mike Tyson. Even Mike Tyson, from the round two, he started becoming a little bit less aggressive because, of course, I understand his heart rate, for this age, 58 years old, he was trying to really calm down, have that energy for all full 8 rounds. But I really appreciate that he could stand for those 8 rounds full. That is a massive thing for Mike Tyson. Usually it's pretty hard for this age really to survive for this 8 rounds. People thought probably he could really survive for first 2 or 3 rounds and that game was absolutely over. But no, the game was over in such a disciplined way that we were not expecting this. We were expecting actually the Jake Paul to get knocked out or Mike Tyson to really get knocked out. But this really didn't happen. It happened in such a nice and clean manner. He got the winning part, Jake Paul, of course, because the punches he has thrown more than Mike Tyson because of his agility. That was the only part he got won. So that's, and there's no other difference. His agility made him the winner. That's the only part I can say. But the other things, I would of course go with Mike Tyson. I will really respect him for the age and for the time he took out for this fight with 27 years old. Thank you so much for watching. Probably see you in the next video, and I hope you really like the video. And let me know in the comment below, what do you think Jake Paul has done and Mike Tyson has done, and let me also know who has fought much better. Thank you, and probably see you in the next video.